I recently moved into student housing for university. The building that houses the students is a towering complex unlike most other student housing I've seen. It is in the middle of the city, so I guess that it must have been a space issue. The rooms are basic and small. The room I was assigned to was a twin room consisting of 2 single beds and a tiny bathroom. I would literally be able to roll over and touch my roommate in the evenings. I moved in a few days before my roommate was set to arrive, so I spent the first few nights in solitude. There were welcoming parties and mixers, but I did not feel up to it. Jeremy, my roommate, arrived a couple days ago. We got on decently well. He's quite loud and overly excitable. He seems nice enough, but is not exactly my type of person. He has a few friends from home that are attending the same university. He invited me out last night to a bar, which I graciously accepted. I cannot face spending another evening alone in this tiny enclosed space. The drinks began flowing and I eventually relaxed into the group. Mike, one of Jeremy's friends, told us a story that he had heard from his brother about an unoccupied dorm room in our complex. 2 students had apparently performed a satanic ritual in that room a few years prior. Their bodies were found about a week later in that room after parents and friends reported them missing. Their bodies were burnt and conjoined together to create a cross in the center of the room. The bodies were haphazardly sewn together at the feet, all the way up to the head. Their teeth and hair had been removed to create strange symbols all around them. The room had been locked and unoccupied ever since. There were rumors that since then, people had witnessed strange occurrences on that floor. People would claim that they would hear whispering coming from that room late at night, and reported a heavy burning smell. A lot of students requested another room soon after moving into that floor. I sat up with Jeremy late last night to discuss it further. I am obsessed with anything to do with the occult, and so is he. Having something that close by both excited and terrified me. I'm not sure if it was the drink or curiosity, but we decided to head up to the 6th floor to check it out. We did not particularly believe the story, and neither did the other guys. We were immediately taken aback by the smell once we reached the floor. The air felt heavier as if it were invading my lungs, and although the smell was not strong, it was bitter. It smelled as if a fire had been put out a while ago and the final remains still lingered. It was dark as we approached the room, and I could swear I saw wisps of smoke emaciate from room 628. We put our ears up to the door, but we were met with silence. There were no whispers or sounds of any kind. I did have a strange feeling that I could not shake, though. It forced me to shiver and retract away from the door. I'm sure it was just the story playing tricks with my mind. Jeremy, on the other hand, seemed completely enthralled by this experience. He was caressing the door and trying anything to get a reaction. He knocked on the door but once again met with silence. Then from behind us we heard a loud shout that made us jump. I almost fainted from the shock of another voice other than ours. "I'm trying to sleep. If you're not on this floor, can you leave?" It was a girl from the adjacent room we had woken up. We both apologized and went back down to our dorm room. I laughed at the situation to Jeremy, but he was completely serious. He looked like a man possessed. He told me that we had to go back there and investigate. He was excited at the prospect that something supernatural really did lie inside of room 628. "I can get the key to that place, I reckon," he said with a grin on his face. "No way, man. I'm not going in there," I said, confused as to why he wanted to go in there. "Oh, come on, please. Think of the stories we can tell people," he said, tilting his head slightly, like a dog begging his owner for treats. "How can you get the key?" "They leave the reception unoccupied most of the time at night. I can just take it." I eventually gave in with the promise that we would record live the events that follow. I'm going to distract the only security guard while he takes the key. We plan to spend the rest of the night in room 628. I'll edit this post with any updates as they happen. It has just turned 1 a.m. and we're about to head out. Edit, 1:50 a.m. We managed to get the keys rather easily. The guard was busy flirting with some girls coming back from a night out. The burning smell seemed worse this time when we approached. It was stronger than the previous night and the hallway was eerily silent. We opened the door and entered. I have provided a picture of the room to show just how small these rooms are. I'll attempt to take a picture of anything that needs documenting. On entering the room, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The room is set up exactly as it was before I moved into our room. That is other than the smell. The air here feels thicker and I'm struggling to breathe. I've never had breathing problems before, but I'm finding myself short of breath being in this room. We have only been here a few minutes, so I'll report more in the next update. Room. Edit. 2:40 a.m. The walls. They feel like they're closing in on me. The room feels like it is getting smaller by the second. It is suffocating me and my breathing is getting worse. I attempted to leave, but Jeremy told me that it was important that we stayed. I decided that I would give it a little longer. Jeremy has been acting strange ever since we entered the room. He has not spoken much and seems a little bit on edge. I went to use the bathroom a few moments ago, and when I came back, he was talking to someone in a hushed tone. I asked him if he was okay, and he immediately became defensive. There's no one else in the room with us, so I'm not sure who he was talking to. I think this whole ordeal may be affecting him quite a lot. He has not moved or talked much at all since I came back from the bathroom. He's just staring out the window. I have to get us both out of this room. I want to leave, but he just keeps telling me that it's important that we stay. Edit. 3:10 a.m. Jeremy seems to be getting worse. He'll occasionally look over at me with a quizzical look as if he does not know who I am. He keeps muttering nonsense to himself, and when I ask him what he's talking about, he stops. I gave Jeremy an ultimatum a few moments ago. I've had enough of all of this now. He just went back to staring out of the window after once again ignoring me. I attempted to leave, but the door is locked or jammed shut. I tried multiple times to open it, but I cannot get it open. I started to panic and began pounding against the door and shouting for help. Jeremy began to laugh once I started to panic. I cannot hear anyone outside and I feel extremely claustrophobic now. I called the front desk and the woman answered. She told me that she would send someone up. She did not seem too bothered about us being in room 628. I've never seen a woman at the front desk before. It has always been the same man since I've been here. I'm sure that someone is coming and all will be fine. I feel as if I'm slowly descending into madness. Edit. 3:30 a.m. The lights just went out. I only took my eyes off of Jeremy for a second. He was sitting opposite me 1 minute and the next he was gone. I've shown my phone all over the small room, but cannot see him anywhere. There is almost nowhere he could be hiding. He must still be in here somewhere. He must have gone into the bathroom. I have no idea how he would have got there without me noticing. I would have heard him move or something. I just do not know anymore. There is a low humming noise coming from the other side of the room. I'm not sure if it's just Jeremy messing with me or not. I've called out to him, but he's not responding to me. I'm gonna have to check the bathroom. No one has turned up yet to open up the door. I'm visibly shaking now. I'm coughing with every breath and I'm so tired. Help me. Edit. 4 a.m. I checked the bathroom and he was not in there. I could hear the sounds of whispering coming from behind me once I entered the bathroom. I think there is something other than Jeremy here. The voice sounds inhuman. It sounds evil. I'm trying to act as rationally as possible, but I feel as if rational thought has left me. I attempted to call the police. The same woman answered. I asked her who she was and she began to maniacally laugh down the phone. My head is spinning now. I can barely make out anything in the darkness. I have noticed the black smudge on the far wall. Well, I think that is what it is. I'm not sure anymore. I attempted to take a picture to get a better look. I did not want to move closer to it. The camera on my phone has not picked up much. The photo is dark, but on closer inspection, I can see the outline of a figure standing at the window. I'm not sure how to brighten the image to see it clearer. I'm unsure what it is. We are on the 6th floor, so it would be impossible for someone to be standing at the window. I'm staying as far away from the window as possible, with my back to the wall. My eyes are feeling heavier, and my body is feeling weaker. I need to sleep.